This is a channeled message from Adama regarding the spiritual nature of water. Now, I would like to first begin this channeling by noting that if the tone of the channel's voice is different or more quiet during this channeling, that is because she has to be quiet, for she is on vacation and staying in a condo with other people, and she would like to be courteous of these people. And so, in this way, she will keep her voice down. But that being said, this will not impact the channeling at all, and it is merely just a note to the listener so that you understand the difference in the tone. Now, that being said, this is something that may be the case for the next few channelings, but we shall cross those bridges when we get there. Now, first, the initial reason that I chose to impart this information at this time is because, indeed, this channel is on vacation at the beach. And due to the nature of her current spiritual awakening, it is in her highest and best good to be more fully informed of the various ways in which the ocean may impact her energy and spirituality while she is here. And indeed, she has had a brief experience with this tonight, and she became aware of one of the ways in which water works, and that is by amplifying energy. Now, water works in 3 or 4 different ways, and the first way is by amplifying energy, and the second way is by dispersing energy. And the third way is by muting energy. And then very occasionally, water may transmute energy as well. Now, a quick definition for the word transmute or transmutation. In our channelings, we will use this word to refer to the conscious manipulation of an energy or item from one nature to a completely different nature. So, for example, to use an example given previously in a channeling that we have done, if one wishes to use their energy to heal another being, they must first transmute their sacral chakra energy and their heart chakra energy from sex energy and love energy into healing energy. But for more information on this specific endeavor, please consult the channeling titled The Higher Faculties and the Lower Faculties. Now, without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this lesson. So, the first way in which water has an energetic presence is in its ability to in its ability to amplify energy. Now, I would like to note that the reason that water has these properties is because it is an elemental energy. And so in this way, one may find that each body of water is of a different collective consciousness. And so, for example, the waterfall that this channel frequently goes to is of a much different consciousness than the Gulf of Mexico, where she currently is now. And indeed, the Gulf of Mexico may have a very different consciousness from even the various other bays and locks and inlets and various other water and landforms that may be off of this Gulf. And similarly, the Gulf also has a different consciousness from the Atlantic Ocean, of which it is technically a part. And so in this way, one may find that all the locks and inlets and what have you, as well as the Gulf, are all a part of the collective of the Atlantic Ocean, which of course is a part of the collective of the water elementals as a whole. Now, this being said, when water is present in one specific body, it may have varying purposes. And after I speak on the 4 different ways in which water may enact on energy, then I will speak on the varying bodies of water. But I have gotten ahead of myself. Or perhaps the better way to put that is, this channel has gotten ahead of me in asking her questions. But this is no new occurrence. What can I say? I got questions all the time. Indeed, your never-ending curiosity is, while your never-ending curiosity is quite beneficial for you in these endeavors of yours, it is quite bothersome. Perhaps that is not quite the right word, but we shall use it anyways. For it interrupts our channelings occasionally, but that is all right. Now, as for the amplifying nature of water on energy, one may find that this may be a practical example of this in the way that UV rays are amplified by water. So if you have ever put on waterproof sunscreen or water-resistant sunscreen and then gotten into a pool or the ocean or another body of water and found that you were much more easily sunburnt on the part underwater than you were on the parts of you outside of the water, this may be, in addition to the sunscreen washing off, of course, due to the way in which water amplifies UV rays. And this is partially due to the way that water interacts with light. For everything that water can do to light, it may do to energy. For in the higher realms, energy and light are synonymous. But this being said, if you wish to manifest something specific, you may put your intention into the water, and in this way, the water may not only store this intention for you, but it may also amplify this intention for you. And so, if you are, for example, trying to manifest financial wealth, then you may imbue a cup of water with the intention of receiving financial wealth. And then you may drink this water with the intention of absorbing this energetic frequency that you have just instilled in the water. And so you may find that this is possible with almost any manner of manifestations. However, please note that this may work better for some than it will for others, and this will be individual to each person and will be unique to the individual manifestation and circumstances surrounding it. Now, the second way in which water may have an impact on energy is by dispersing it, or refracting it. And so this may be seen in the way that water acts on visible light from the sun or another light source. And it is visible in the beautiful patterns formed on the bottom of a pool or the ocean by the surface of the water inundating and changing the refractionary pattern of the light. And so, just like water may have this effect on light, it may also have this effect on energy. And so you may find that if you are having difficulty transmuting energy, if you are having difficulty processing energy or seeing a new side of energy, then you may imbue a cup of water with the intention for clarity of whatever it is you desire, and then you may drink this water with the intention of receiving and embodying this energy. Now, another way in which water may enact on energy is by nullifying or muting or lessening it. And so in this way, you may find that this is a much more difficult feat to accomplish due to its slightly less inherent nature in the water, but it is still indeed accomplishable. And so you need not worry if it is more difficult for you, or if you have more difficulty perceiving the changes that occur before, during, or after this work. And so in this way, for example, if you are finding that your higher and lower faculties are bombarding you with sensation, or perhaps you are even just overstimulated in the moment, you may imbue some water with the frequency of understimulation, or of whatever opposites feeling you desire in that moment. And in this way, and after this, you may ingest the water and find that the vibrational frequency lines up with, and you may find that you embody and are able to digest that vibrational frequency. And the final way in which water may have an effect on energy is by transmuting it. And this may be similar but slightly different from refracting, or shall we say editing light. For refracting energy and refracting light is different from transmuting it, in that when it is refracted, it maintains much more of its initial nature than when it is transmuted. And so in this way, the most well-known form of transmutation that may be known on Earth now is the efforts of alchemists to turn coal into gold, or iron into gold, or whatever it is that they were trying to turn into gold. For in this way, this would be transmuting the inherent nature of the metal. But contrarily, if you are experiencing a very heightened emotion at the moment, and you wish to use water to lower the intensity of this emotion, you may find that this is much better labeled as a refraction, for the nature of the energy is the same, but the volume is merely being turned down, if this makes sense. Now, if you wish to engage in any of these practices and find that you do not quite have the awareness or knowledge or ability to access that part of yourself yet that is necessary to do this, you may listen to any and all of the previous channelings done. For I have channeled in these sessions much information about not only the spiritual nature of human beings, but also the ideal and current spiritual trajectory of many human beings on this earth at this time. Now, that being said, I would like to briefly speak about the different bodies of water. And indeed, this channeling this evening will be rather short, but that is intentional. And I will speak on this later as well. And for those who are listening on YouTube or any other social media platform, you may find that you do not hear this part that I just referred to, for when I will speak on this later, I meant that I will speak on it in a channeling that I will do right after this one, which this channel will not be posting on the social medias. On the social medias. But indeed, I felt it was necessary to explain this, for if you listen to this message with the hopes of receiving that information, it will not happen. Now, of course, in the nature of this channel's current location, the first body of water which we will speak on is the ocean. Now, the ocean and the bays are very similar in their natures and their energetic offerings available. However, this is purely dependent on the bay and the ocean that it belongs to. But in the case of the Gulf of Mexico and the bays surrounding it, they are all quite similar to the Atlantic Ocean. But the ocean is known for her wholeness, for her diversity, for her unity, for her embracing of her idiosyncrasies, and for her celebration of uniqueness. And this is seen in the very diverse array of wildlife that is found within the oceans on Earth. And in this way, you may find that your scientists may never cease to discover new species and genuses, and sometimes even families, in the ocean. For the ocean is very vast, and there has not been much exploration of it up until this point. However, it is our hope here in the higher realms that once you humans on the earth determine that indeed you need to alter your lifestyle choices to aid Mother Gaia in healing, then you may find that many of these species begin to venture forth into the shallower waters, and some may even seek out human attention. And one of such fish is the oarfish, and this is seen in traditional Chinese mythology as a sort of harbinger of the apocalypse. But I would like to note that this is not the case for the traditional use of the word apocalypse, but it may be true in a non-traditional use of the word apocalypse, in which apocalypse means an event that alters the inherent structure of society. For indeed, this inherent structure of society has been being called into question for quite a few decades at this point. However, it has not been brought into the forefront of many beings' consciousnesses until the past 2 or 3 years. And so you may find that many beings who are currently on a spiritual journey started their spiritual journey about 2 or 3 years ago. And while this channel did not start her spiritual journey 3 years ago, she was able to harness this energy and undergo a second spiritual awakening during this time of mass awakening. And indeed, another one of these such times is upon us. And this is a possible explanation for the chaotic, heavy, and intense vibes that have been present on the earth for the past few weeks. But that being said, the ocean is associated with fertility and motherhood, specifically pregnancy and motherhood of young children. And the best way to connect to the ocean and her subsidiaries is just by being present with her, whether that is in the physical realm or the astral realm. For you may indeed choose to visit her in the astral realm, or choose to visit an ocean in the astral realm, that is. And you may experience all of the benefits of visiting this ocean in the astral realm as you would in the physical. Now, one other type of body of water that we shall discuss tonight are waterfalls. And waterfalls are known as being a message to surrender. For the droplet of water must surrender wholeheartedly to the waterfall in order to reach the bottom. And so you may find in this way that the channel has experienced a lapse of concentration. But in order for a droplet of water to reach the bottom of a waterfall, it must fully surrender to gravity. And so in this way, waterfalls are associated with surrender and with accepting the path that life has dealt you. And so if you find that you are having extreme difficulty with the act of surrendering or the act of releasing and letting go, then you may go visit a waterfall. And if you wish to fully immerse yourself in the energy of the waterfall, it may be in your highest and best good to stand or sit underneath the falling water as long as it is safe for you. Now, another body of water that I would wish to speak on is a creek or a river. And I would like to note that a creek has a smaller amount of energy than a river, but in this way, one may think of a creek as a baby river. So, therefore, creeks and rivers are of the same energetic origins. And so, creeks and rivers both are very good for reminding us that life is a journey, not a destination. And no matter how hard you try or how hard you live your life, you may find that you do not reach the end of your life any faster than if you didn't engage in any of those practices. But thus is the nature of divine timing. And this should not come as a surprise to anyone, for indeed, when I have said previously, all will happen in divine timing, this has always referred to more than just this channel. And please take this as a message to you specifically, that indeed all will occur in divine timing. Now, another body of water which I would like to speak to is a lake. And lakes are known for their groundedness. And perhaps some may call this stagnancy, but usually in the case of a lake, this stagnancy is beneficial to the ecosystem in the lake. And so one may find that this groundedness, this security, this stability of a river, not of a river, of a lake is, I'm not quite sure where I was going with that. Sorry. I swear my brain is shot. But that's okay. Indeed, your nervous system is under quite a bit of stress, and this may get worse over the next 2 days before it gets better. So please hang in there, buckle up, and hold space for yourself. Love that for me. But indeed, you will find that on the other side of this experience, you will be much better off. And this may even allow for your clairaudience skills to click online, as you have recently discovered with seeing the phosphorescence in the sand. Is it phosphorescence? Fluorescence? I can't remember. Now, the final body of water which I would like to speak on today is the glacier. And perhaps we may include a glacier and a fjord in the same body of water, for they are of similar energetic frequencies, but these two bodies are just, shall we say, at different stages of their life. For it takes quite a long time for a glacier to melt into a fjord. Now, glaciers are known for their immortality and purity. For water may not freeze if it is not pure, and freezing water may act as a sort of purification process for this water. And so in this way, glaciers are very good at cleansing and purifying energy, and they're also good at reminding you of the bigger picture of things. For just as it takes a glacier many thousands of years to melt, it may take your heart many years to soften, but that is okay, for all will happen in divine timing. But that is all that I have to say tonight on the nature of water. And as always, it was a pleasure. Toodaloo.